Well, guys, it's a great pleasure and a warm welcome. I'm speaking to Trevor Riley from A Wilhelm Scream. Good morning from Australia, Trevor.
Good morning, Jamie, man. How you doing?
Good, man, and it's
Right on.
a pleasure to have you on. And I just got reports that you're coming to Australia very, very shortly, but a couple of the shows have already been sold out. Are you happy with that?
Oh man, we're ecstatic about that.
Yeah.
So stoked. Oh
And
yeah, man. Thanks to everybody that bought tickets so early for it.
yeah, well, you're not strangers to our shores at all because you guys have been on our festival called Soundwave before. I just like to ask, how was that for you guys coming to a travelling festival as big as Soundwave?
Oh, it was such an incredible experience. I mean, to tour on that kind of, with that kind of production, and seeing, all that's involved in such a huge festival like undertaking, and it was a pretty special thing to be, involved with. And traveling on the same airplane as Jane's Addiction, I mean, that was a trip, like,
Hmm.
you know, and all that, and getting to see so many rad bands, like Faith No More. Never thought I'd get a chance to see them, but at that point, I mean, they're going to be touring now, but I mean, back then, 7 years ago, whatever, it was like, wow, this could be our own, could be our only chance. It was like a big, it was just a big, like, big dream come true. Like having dinner next to the Get Up Kids and shit. That was like pretty cool stuff.
Yeah. And speaking of Faith No More, we just recently had them on this year's Soundwave. They've just gone a couple of months ago, and as great they were, they took a bit of a break for a bit, and they came back out, pulled all the punches, played all the greatest hits, and it was a pretty great atmosphere for what I saw anyway. But you guys basically started out as doing a demo type of a Nirvana sound demo or Nirvana influence style demo. Just run through some of that because some of the fans might not know about that. I know about it because I've dug up my history and I've been following the band for quite some time. But how was that for you guys going back into the time capsule type of thing compared to what it's like now? You guys were basically under the radar type of thing. You didn't record like a love song type of thing. You basically came out and pulled all the punches and made a sound of your own.
Oh, well, thank you for that. And yeah, I mean, yeah, we just, we just do what we do. We just, we like to have fun playing. We like the songs that we make, songs we write. That we kind of put together is like, usually, kind of starts in the basement, and we just kind of like make, work on a song until we all kind of get the giggles, and as long as we're all happy with it, then we kind of put it out there, and then hope that fans of the band, they're like the next, most important thing that we want to make happy, and basically, we just want to make the most interesting, fun stuff for us to play, and we work really hard at it, and we have a lot of fun, and I appreciate your support, man. Like that's awesome that you've known about us for so long. That's really rad.
Well, that what I like about the music as such, you can be a fan of no matter what band, but as long as you find out who they influence from, because it doesn't just start and end with that band, because music for me is just unlimited. There's a whole wide range of influence from growing up as a kid to an adulthood. You find out different bands as you go along, and I find out new bands even today just by picking up an article from somewhere, and I find out who they are, and I go and dig out some of their music and find out who they are. I mean, even now with the technology that we've got, you can pick up nearly any band that you want using YouTube, basically.
Yeah,
And
totally.
yeah, and back 20 years ago, you couldn't do that. I mean, you couldn't find a new band unless they were huge, you know. And
Right.
I'm so grateful in a way that modern technology today can be an open encyclopedia just by using YouTube. I mean, if it's done the correct way, I'm saying. I mean, that's how a lot of these fans nowadays find bands, and two thumbs up for me. I mean, because some of the record labels don't release some of the band's material here, and some of our stuff here in Australia doesn't get released over in America unless it's a big known record label.
Right. Yeah. Well, everything's changing. The business, the whole, business model of music. I mean, I can't really speak a lot to that because, we don't own a record label. We're just kind of like wrapping our heads around, the new ways of kind of putting our music out there and, making it available for our fans. Directly, that's just something that we're starting to formulate ideas about, like as a band and stuff. But like, really, like, it's pretty exciting. I mean, to the way that everything is evolving, I kind of see the internet as the great equalizer, for this kind of thing. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you can hear anybody can hear the next Metallica song or the next Wilhelm Scream song, on the same day in your on your same computer. You know what I mean? It's not like we have to get that big deal so we can get on MTV so you can see our videos. No, you can see our videos right along with any other band. So on that tip, it's awesome, and really the question and for lack of a better term, the challenge, I suppose, or the big question going forward is for a band our size to make it so we can still put out quality stuff, quality productions, directly to our fans and, reach, and hopefully reach new listeners, without all the bells and whistles. You know what I'm saying? Like, without having to do the huge campaign, the radio campaign and this, that, and the other thing. I remember when we first signed with Nitro Records in 2004, a lot of the stuff in the they have like the marketing plan and all the stuff in the contract, that we'd look over and be like, holy cow, man, like they're paying thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars just to have our record in a store.
Yep.
Like in a particular chain store. You know what I mean? Which that blew my mind. To me, I thought that was the most insane thing. These kind of like payoffs. You have to pay people off. In order to have the make the band stuff readily available to anybody that goes into this chain store or whatever. So, I mean, now, those days are over. Now, you know what I mean. As far as that goes, and for a band like us, I mean, maybe that still happens, but I mean, I don't really give a shit about that. I mean, that doesn't matter. I mean, now, with the internet, we live in a day and age where like our fans can directly come to us if they want a T-shirt or if they want a record. Like they can work directly with, if you want the Party Crasher, our Party Crasher record, you can go straight to No Idea Records and they'll hook you up. You know what I mean?
Yep. Like
all online, or you go to iTunes or Xbox or PlayStation, whatever. These things are super readily available, So really the question for us going forward is like, all right, how do how do we make it so we can kind of like, you know, get the most out of this and offer our fans the most that we can, so we can keep this thing going, you know, like, and keep it going in a way that's going to keep the band pushing forward and like keep this gradual, you know, uphill thing that we've been lucky enough to be riding, you know, like,
yeah,
you know, it's all thanks to our fans, you know. So that's the big question right now. That's very interesting that you brought that up.
Yeah, and you're just not on the head. I mean, for me, I can't see another band wanting to have a thought, okay, I want to play Madison Square Garden right now. I mean, back 30 years ago, you can get a band off the streets and you can just pile so much endorsement of money onto them so they can play at Madison Square Garden. But right now, I think the wheel has turned a bit. The fans start to go to the bands rather than the fans waiting for the band to come. Because if the quality, like you said, if the quality of the sound of the music sounds good, people are going to buy it, whether they go on iTunes, Spotify, or even just discover it, like I said, on YouTube. I mean, don't get me wrong, there is a downside to the internet with the illegal download. I understand all that nonsense as well, but the positives outweighs the negative. I mean, the fans will pick it up. If the fans like it, they will get it. But I just want to go onto something else. There's a couple of songs that really, really have dug me in your catalogue, and there was a song called "Born a Wired Man," which I reckon it's going to be in the set list, of course. It's one of you guys' greatest hits, in my opinion. But it's another song called
"Thank You,
Fun Time" and "One While You're Young." I want to ask, how the fans going to react to some of these songs? And also, have you seen a different reaction to these songs getting played live rather than what the reaction on the album has been over the years?
Well, for certain songs, well, first of all, thank you. I appreciate the compliment. Born a Wise Man, we have been playing it steadily in all our sets. It's definitely a crowd pleaser, which we kind of always we hoped it would be. And we get a lot of people sing along and stuff and digging it, so we're stoked about that. The other song, Fun Time is an interesting one because like I love the song. When I brought it to the band, I was like, "Hey, you guys sure you want to do this?" And they were like, "No, yeah, we like it. Let's do it," and stuff. Because it's by far our slowest song, and kind of like sort of like a different style. It's still sing along, in that Wilhelm fashion, but it's definitely the side of like my songwriting that is more on the alternative rock side, which is another side of my songwriting that, I maybe doesn't quite fit in with what we've created with Wilhelm, with the fast technical stuff, which always goes over well with the fans. So, sometimes we'll play Fun Time and sometimes it works, but often than not, probably, because of the stark differences in tempo, it's a little awkward, so it doesn't always work out. But still love the song, but Die While We're Young is another one that we do play.
Yeah.
We do put, and it always goes over. That one definitely always goes over well, too. As well. So, it's I don't know. You just write. I don't really think about these things. It's kind of like write songs and then trying to see, hey, does the band dig it? And then if the band digs it, keep going. You know what I mean? And then kind of move on from there. I don't know if I answered your question.
Yeah,
sorry, I kind of went off on a tangent.
It's okay. Well, Well, guys, A Wilhelm Scream is coming to our shores very shortly on Anzac Day, which is like Independence Day. Anzac Day for our fallen troops from Australia and New Zealand. The tour is with the Anchors, the special guest. Unfortunately for both Adelaide and Hobart down in Tasmania, the Anchors will not be supporting the band. There is 2 sold-out shows, which also has given the band a second date in both Sydney and Melbourne, which is a fan request type of gig on the second nights there. But it starts on the 25th of April here in Adelaide at the Riot Bar, and it's rounding it out at the Brisbane Hotel in Melbourne. And Trevor, we cannot wait. It's just around the corner. And like I said, 2 sold-out shows here in Australia. You guys are still making a round down here.
Oh man, we're so excited. I mean, like, it's very, it's yeah. I mean, I can't even put it into words. Like our first sellout show ever was 8 years ago, and that was in Melbourne at the Art House. That was our first ever as a band, our first ever like headline sellout. So to come back and sell out Melbourne again, and then Sydney, like we're just blown away. Like we're so stoked and happy and thankful for all the support that everybody's been giving us. Like, those shows sold out pretty quick, and like that really makes us feel good and really like makes us like energized to really come out and just really have tons of fun with all you guys, and doing the all request thing. I just wrote down a bunch of the requests that I saw on the Facebook pages. Just gonna send them out to the guys and stuff, and looking at them like I'm like, part of me's like, ooh, this is gonna be exciting. Oh, this is gonna be scary. Ooh, it's gonna be exciting. Ooh, this is gonna be scary. But yeah. I think that's gonna make for like a really fun time. So yeah, we're really excited. So yeah, thanks so much, everybody.
Love it. All right, guys. Well, that's all the time we got for. Please get your tickets at your venues where they are around Australia, and we'll see Wilhelm Scream very shortly. And thank Trevor for joining on our show. It's all the time we got for, mate.
Thank you so much, Jamie. Man, it was awesome talking to you, and thanks all y'all.
Yeah. All right, guys. Going back to the regular programming of our show, we're going to play you some tunes from the band, and also we're going to give some more news out as well. So stick around for that. So here's Wilhelm Scream, which is a couple of songs that I just personally said in this interview. So thanks, Trevor, and we'll catch you very shortly when you hit down Australia.
Cheers, man.
Cheers, man. All right. Bye now.
Take care.
Bye.
Awesome. Bye-bye.
Bye.